So the Wolves are now 2-7 in their last 9 games. They just lost 4 games in a row. We're basically looking at a team who was just in the Western Conference Finals last year, and now they're just falling apart. And one of the main reasons I think they're falling apart is because Anthony Edwards, he said this. He said the Timberwolves have been growing apart and they feel like they cannot talk to each other anymore. So obviously that's bad. No team wants to be apart from their teammates because it's a team game and everybody needs to be on the same page to win, especially when you're a team that's trying to get back to the Western Conference Finals and then go further and win a championship. You have to be together. And there's moments in the game when you can see Ant, Rudy, even Randall at times where they're not on the same page and the chemistry just isn't there. So the Timberwolves lost to the Kings, making it their 4th straight loss. But here's something that stood out to me in that game. The Timberwolves, they were leading 98-86 with 7 minutes left in the game. But then the Wolves, they just collapsed. And the Kings, they go on a 29-6 run to win the game. 115-104. They scored 7 points in the last 7 minutes of this game. The Wolves' late game offense this season, it's been really bad. They aren't good in the clutch. Anthony Edwards, he's just chucking up shots. Randall, he's trying to drive to the basket and it's not getting them nowhere. They just aren't productive, just late game situations. And in this team defensively, it's really obvious that they're not the same defensive team from last year, but they just gotten worse. I really do think now that this team's true colors is starting to show. Anthony Edwards versus the Kings, he had 29 points, but he was 9 of 24 from the field. He's very inefficient this season, but one thing I can say is that it's because of the lack of spacing that he has on his roster now. The one guy who's supposed to be a floor spacer for him is not even hitting his shots, and that's Dante DiVincenzo. He had 5 points, and he was 2 of 7 from the field last night, and 1 of 6 from 3. Where's the floor spacing from him? Where? Teams are now starting to realize that Jaden McDaniels, he cannot shoot. He was 0 of 3 today, and he shot 0 of 2 from the 3. But even last game versus the Rockets were just leaving him open and letting him shoot. So can we even blame Anthony Edwards for him just being inefficient in games? He's on the floor with Rudy, Randall, Mike Conley, and Jaden McDaniels. And Mike Conley, he was out for like the last 4 games that they played. Now, about Rudy. Everybody's been talking about Rudy's defense. It hasn't been the same, and he's been getting cooked. Honestly, I do think it's not the same that it was last year. I don't think that. But Rudy is still going to be the anchor in this unit. He's going to be the guy that they look to block shots and just help them on defense. But the chemistry on this team is just not there. It just seems like everybody's playing for themselves. And like I said before, we all know that's not a way to win a championship with the unit just being divided, everybody playing individual basketball, and just not being a team. And more every day, I just look at that Randall and Cat trade and just realize how dumb that trade was. We're looking at a team who hasn't made the Western Conference Finals since like 2004. They make it last year, and then you just break that up. That makes no sense to me. That was a team who was getting ready to go to the NBA Finals and be a championship contender type team. Julius Randle. When Julius Randle first joined this unit, I thought it was a good fit, honestly. But now that I'm looking at it, it's not. I really don't like the fit because Randle, he's turning over the ball. He's the reason why the late game offense is so bad. And it's already bad that it is not able to space the floor because you're not hitting your threes. So Randall, you just have to be better. Now, Anthony Edwards, he has been shooting the ball bad. Like I said, it could be because of the floor spacing on this unit, but you can't blame that. He is still shooting the ball bad, and there's really no excuses for that. He shot 9 of 24 versus the Kings, 8 of 22 versus the Rockets, 9 of 21 versus the Celtics, and 9 of 20 versus the Raptors. That's just in his last 4 games. Now, you could blame Anthony Edwards all you want, but like he is saying, he is correct, this team is falling apart. The chemistry is not there like it was last year. Now, I do think Cat is a big reason for that because Cat was one of those guys who had the energy and he brung it every single night. But now they don't have that. Randall's one of those guys who's always going to be moody, and him and Rudy aren't seeing eye to eye. But with that being said, if you guys like this video, make sure you guys like, comment, share, subscribe, and get this video to 6 likes, and I will be dropping again. Thank you guys, and I'm out. See you guys in the next.